but I have an intro video that I like to play first. So
Okay, let's see if we're in. I think we're live. I don't know.
we are.
Okay, everybody, hello. This is Matt, Heroes for Hire Comic Club. We don't have nobody watching, but we'll say hello anyway. And we got
somebody
the
might
chief
show up.
comic collector, Robert, my good friend from is it Central Florida, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's just me and you, dog. We'll see what happens.
That's cool.
I'll show you some of these like
Nice.
2099 X-Men #1, that little foil. You know what the Marvel rule was in the 90s? First issues have to be foil. Punisher 2099.
Yeah, those make a nice set.
Yeah, and I got Ravager 2099. I like Ravager. I thought that was a cool story. I don't know who was involved in that one, but I always thought it was kind of. But you can tell that's 90s as heck. The way they got like all this pouches and stuff on. We got one person in here. Higgy. Hey, Higgy. You can jump on if you want. Are you still on vacation? We'll show it over there. I'm trying to be all professional. We'll show your comment. We're just showing some 2099 off. I got the Ravager. And I should have picked up these Hawkmen I saw. I was going to get them for Higgy. And I just ran out of money. I couldn't get everything. So we'll show you this one I like. Red Sonja, number 12.
Cool.
Oh, I guess I better. Here,
I was just going to say you should go big so you can see them better.
Let's do it. There we go. I have a glare on it. And I don't know. I like Red Sonja. There's just something about her. I wonder what it is. I can't tell. There's something about her. Went to Ollie's today. Did you get some good stuff? I've been hearing they have like omnibuses. I'd like to check that out. We got this one. I just got this today. I got these all for like $1 or under. It's Marvel superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk. He's fighting the Absorbing Man.
Cool.
What's his name? Crusher Creed or something like that. And I got check this one out. Does anybody know the artist? It seems eerily familiar. Wonder Man #1. It looks like St. Cabbage almost.
Yeah, I want to say I used to know who did that, but let me look it up real quick.
Okay. That's what we got Robert here for. You can look it up for us. And this is my first live stream. So it's pretty cool. So hello everybody that came in. I appreciate you stopping by. You can come on if you want. I sent everybody the streaming link. Eric Larson.
Yeah, it was Bill Sinkiewicz, or however you say his name.
I always get him mixed up with that guy. What's his name? The head of the Church of Scientology, the one everybody talks about so bad. Kevich or something's his name. But he's not a good artist. He's just a con man. All right, we got Alpha Flight. Let's not get into that. All the Scientologists are going to get mad at me. We got Alpha Flight 13. I just got it because, well, you know why I got it. Because the guy's on the cover. And he says, okay, sucker, the only way you get to this lady is through me. So Wolvie's being a little chivalrous today. And then I showed you this one already, but I'll show it to Higgy in case anybody see my video. I found that it's not in good condition, but, the death of Barry Allen, no big deal. Just a key issue for $1. But you know what I say? Low grade is better than no grade. Keep that in mind because my favorite guy, Todd McFarlane, did this one. Todd, Detective Comics 578. See Todd, by Todd. Then I got Spider-Man 14. If I see Todd McFarlane, I buy it if I don't have it. And you got Rogue. Marvel What If 66. What if Rogue possessed the power of Thor? She got some thick thighs here, guys. I don't know. what they've done to that. I think they've overdrawn her again. All right. It's like one guy makes her skinny as a rail, and the other guy makes her like big boned. All right. Joe Kubert. Have you ever heard of All Out War? Joe Kubert.
Yep.
I just thought they were cool.
Yeah, those are nice grabs for if you got those for $1. Those are real nice grabs.
Yeah. Actually, I think I got it for 75 cents total. Like when it all came down to it. GI Combat, another GI Combat. You know, I'm kind of obsessed with Joe Kubert now. Sergeant Rock, Easy Company. Well, you know, my obsession with military comics came from my dad. He was in the Marines and the National Guard, and I got this one just because somebody I knew was looking for it, so I just picked it up for him. I really don't care for it, but Super Pro #1 special edition. That was a shameless plug, wasn't it, by Marvel and NFL trying to push it. Well, that's all right though. We do that a lot. You know what? I want that issue of what if the SNL meets the Marvel. Marvel, that was kind of cool. It has like John Belushi on the cover, dressed like the samurai. So I got some more.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I like the Letterman. I always liked like the special ones they did like that. Like they have Letterman on the cover, or Superman fighting Muhammad Ali, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a few Defenders. I won't show them all, but check out this. Somebody loved these, and they must have sold them to this guy that had them at his shop. But like, they're all in like fancy, like expensive Mylar bags, and it's like a whole run of like late hundreds Conan.
Cool.
We got a whole bunch of them. I'm not gonna show them all, but let's go back down to two screens. There we go. Anybody watching any good movie? Anybody in the chat watching any good movies? I don't know how many people we got in here, but we got Higgy, and he's probably enjoying the Cape Cod. I don't blame him. Watch out for Jaws, though, Higgy.
The only movie I've recently watched was I looked up the Land of the Lost movie because we were talking about it the other morning on Comic Book Memories.
Yeah.
How that would make a good movie, and somebody said, "Oh, they did make a movie of that."
Oh yeah, Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was a terrible movie.
The one part that's funny though is like where he's like, the one part. There's two parts I do like. The rest of the movie's garbage, but the two parts I like are when they're trying to get that device or whatever, and around all those dragon eggs or whatever, the dinosaur eggs.
Yeah.
And he's playing the. Will I get it? Will I get it? They're playing like a chorus line in the background. That was kind of funny, but other than that and where he's singing the song, and he gets bit by that giant mosquito, and he's like, "Oh, I'm tired." All of a sudden.
Oh yeah, that bug was.
Yeah, but that's about all I can say. That's the only thing positive I can say about that movie.
Yeah, it was not a very good movie at all.
It's like
it's one of those where you go, "Why did they make this?"
You know what? I guess because they could. It's the only thing. The only explanation I can come up with is because they could. But we got. I don't know about this Kamandi. I'm going to read this one. This is issue 50. That one about the OMAC.
He becomes
OMAC. I don't know how they're going to work that one into it. Because he's not OMAC, right? He wasn't OMAC before. I don't think. Well, I'm not going to show all these. I just wanted to show you the ones I'm keeping. So, but I sold my old Silver Age Avengers. Unfortunately, I needed the money, so I sold the Death of Baron Zemo and the two first appearances of Ultron. I didn't want to. Sometimes I enjoyed it while I had it, and I don't know. I'm kind of person like after I have something for a while, then I feel like just moving it, paying it forward.
Yeah, some things are like that. Yeah, I mean, I know I've been putting a lot of books through the sale lately that I would have just assumed keep, but hey, finances, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So,
is anybody in the chat wants to join us? The link is, I sent it to a few people. I don't know who's watching, but I'm glad y'all are watching at least. Yeah, I don't know why you want to watch me and Robert. We're not much to look at, I guess, but we got, I might even, if anybody sees anything they like, remember, I have sales on Whatnot. I don't know if anybody's on Whatnot. Let's go to Tom Jones 76. I might as well get a cheap plug-in while I'm at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In case anybody's in here, go to Tom Jones 76. And everybody, all y'all are already. I appreciate. By the way, you and Higgy and everybody joining my Facebook group. We're almost to 100 people because of you and Aaron and Higgy and everybody joining. So that's fun. I just like to. I'm slowly becoming a. Hey, Aaron, you can jump on too if you want, bro. We're just talking about movies. There's a couple of movies I want to see. I'm kind of a wrestling fan, and I'm kind of interested to see. I'm surprised that they allowed this Vince McMahon documentary to come out. It's like a 6-part series on Netflix, and I'm kind of surprised that. I think they're really cutting ties with him for good this time. I believe that's it because he's already been bought out of the company, and that's just the way it goes. You play with fire, you get burnt. That's my opinion. But let's not talk about that stuff because that's some nasty stuff about that. I don't know if anybody's heard about it, but I'm not going to get into it. But it's like that, and that P. Diddy thing makes you want to blush. Even
yeah, that's that. I heard about the P. Diddy thing the other morning on the radio. They were talking about it. I didn't know what they were talking about. It's like, oh my gosh.
Got my coffee mug.
I do like your coffee mug.
Let me enlarge it real quick.
Most like your coffee mug.
And then on the back it says, "The force is strong with this little one." Let me enlarge your screen. Hold on.
I will teach you.
Dark side.
Do or do not. There is no try.
But beware the dark side.
Yeah. I used to have him on my show quite a bit, but the batteries died on the 4th of July. I finally got new batteries for him today.
Yeah, I'll show you something non-comic book related that's kind of cool. It's my Nintendo Game & Watch, Super Mario. We got a little stand for it. Check this out. I don't know if I can show. I hope Nintendo don't sue me, please.
Big question.
You can play Mario. And it's got Mario 2 and Mario 1 on it as well.
Cool.
So, I don't know. Just a little thing I have to collect. I have a Nintendo Switch, but I don't play anymore because I have the old Nintendo. Like the good Lord intended. I mean, you can't beat games like that. I mean, to me, I mean, and my little nephews came over and they're used to like Nintendo Switch and all that stuff, and they had the toughest time playing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. Like, this game's too hard. I said, now you know what we had to do. He says, is there any cheat codes? I said, not unless you have a Game Genie. And then they said, then I felt really old when they said, what's a Game Genie, Matt? So, yeah, I couldn't believe I couldn't sell, and nobody would buy these either. And I had them for $10, y'all.
Nice.
I can't believe it. Nobody. Well, I showed those to you guys, I think, last Thursday. But you got anything you want to show off, or Robert?
I can show some books if you want.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
You can. Well, Aaron, they said that, like Robert said, you can stream with, like, I just saw the comment. Here, I'll put it up here so we can see it. You can, you just can't. It won't, like, you can't show it later, right, Robert? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what Ray from Razor Comics went through. Is you can stream, but it limits how many people can watch it.
Yeah,
and then, like, it's not posted afterwards. Like when Aaron or I stream, it's just on there. Anybody can go to our channels and watch it.
Yeah.
But if somebody was to try and watch this afterwards, it'll say private video and you can't watch it. But you can, like, reload it as a just as a video, and then people would be able to watch it. It's just dumb. It's just really stupid rules.
They don't do that on Instagram. You can go live on Instagram if you got one follower.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's why what's the point of restricting what? I guess maybe there's legitimate reasons for it if somebody's up to no good or trying to promote something that they shouldn't be or something, maybe. But I don't know. It just seems like weird rules.
Hey, I got a new idea for another live stream we can do. We'll call it the we'll call it the Heroes for Hire Comic Club Theater Group or something, or players, and we'll get a comic book that everybody's got, and we'll reenact it. Just talk about everybody will read a different thing out of it, and then we'll do like an overhead thing where I'll show the comic, and we'll be like, one person can read that guy, have somebody read that guy. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know, or just y'all can read that one, and then somebody else read another character, and just go on.
Yeah, I think there's a couple channels out there that do that.
Yeah,
I know Mike Easy Comic Reader has been wanting to do something like that too.
Or just get like the silliest comic book you can find. Just like one of those insane indie comic books. Like, I found one that's really cool. And Aaron, if you're still here, I want to ask you your opinion on one, and then we'll let Robert show some books. I found a bunch of Fantastic Four today too. I was so happy with that. And I've never seen. Well, I'll show you that one in a minute. And I found a Shadow comic book. I found like some team up. Let me find it.
Yeah, that Shadow book looked pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah. And I got that Lobo's back, and on the back, I will show that one too in a minute. But go ahead, Rob, if you got anything. Well, here, I'm going to put you on the main screen. Okay. Well, just stay tuned. Stay tuned, Aaron.
There we go.
House of Mystery.
House of Mystery.
Oh, I love it. That's like a big giant Frankenstein.
Yeah, kind of. I think it's supposed to be like an alien or something, but it's kind of weird looking. It's too dark in here for seeing me what number it is. It's 138, I guess.
138.
And here's an old Brave and the Bold, number 74. Batman and Metal Men.
Oh, the Metal Men. I love the Metal Men. Underrated characters, I mean. Okay, I found it. Now I can focus.
Here's a Korak, son of Tarzan.
Cool.
World's Finest, 137.
Another great series. You got good taste, my friend.
Yeah, these are all books that are waiting to get filed into my collection. They're in like a little box on top of one of my stacks. Oh, and collector's tip. If you're stacking short boxes, don't stack more than 5. 6 is too many.
He starts to collapse under his own weight. Like a black or like a dying star. Hey, Easy, how you doing, buddy?
Here's a treasure chest from 1965. These are fun. If you ever run across these, they got some interesting art and stuff in them. Magnus Robot Fighter.
Oh yeah, that's they did a series of him in the is that Valiant?
Valiant. Valiant did the gold key ones. Yeah. And here's an old Jughead's Jokes number 5. So I just like old books. Archie 187.
Oh, cool. Are they at a dance or something?
Something, yeah.
Okay. Oh, guys, anybody in the chat wants to join in, just go to the our group chat on Instagram. The code's on there if you feel like being on camera.
And here's a Dell 4-color with William.
Oh.
I don't know.
I saw a bunch of Bugs Bunny today, but they were in terrible shape, Robert, or I would have got them for you.
Strange Adventures 173.
Oh, cool.
That one's cool. And this one's just a facsimile, but it's Secret Origins.
Oh, okay. Still very cool. I like the facsimiles, especially if it's like Batman #1. I can't afford that one anyway.
Strange Adventures 191.
Is that DC that did the Strange Adventures, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Sergeant Fury, number 29.
Sweet. You know, I love some Sergeant Fury.
Sergeant Fury, number 20.
The Blitz Squad Strikes.
And from Dell, 13 going on 18.
Cool. 13 going on 18.
Mystery in Space, 96.
Oh, cool.
Betty and Veronica, 125. And here's one for Easy before he goes to bed. Devil Kids, number 11.
Cool. He was asking if Easy asked if you were in the path of the hurricane.
I'm just on the edge of the projected cone, so depends on where it goes.
Well, we'll be praying it doesn't hit your way.
Could go at 121.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
even if it did, it wouldn't. I mean, if it's only going to be a category 2, like they're saying, I mean, hurricanes a bit. I mean, that's bad stuff if you're on the coast because of the flooding and stuff. But because I'm a dead center in the middle of the state, by the time it gets to me, it's just a bad storm, you know.
Sad sack. I remember those as a kid.
But I did have to change my plans this week and go shopping and stuff today instead of later in the week, because if I wait one more day, you know, the stores are going to be packed with people grabbing stuff, and you know, the water will be gone and canned goods will be gone, and so I changed my plans and went shopping today. Got Felix the cat.
And the bread and the milk and the eggs and everything will be gone.
Yeah, everything. Everybody goes crazy, and
they go.
So you don't have any choice but to do the same thing or go to an empty store. You know. This is a Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I just showed a better one than this recently, but this is going kind of beat up. Got a big hair missing and stuff. But
I think I sold you a couple of Jimmy Olsen or one.
You very well could have.
Not that one, but I know a one.
Here's the world's finest 127 with some aliens on it.
Is that a giant tuna fish?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's something.
And here's a Top Comics Lassie.
Oh, Lassie.
My mom's been watching Lassie a lot lately.
Is Timmy stuck in a well again in that one?
Yeah. I was actually watching the guy that played Timmy in an interview on YouTube the other day. And he says they never actually had him stuck in a well.
Oh, okay. Well, I know he was in an old cave or something once during a cyclone or something.
Yeah.
I used to watch the show all the time with June Lockhart.
Action 357. It actually stands up pretty well. It's neat to see this little kid running around and doing whatever he wants, basically, because that's the way we really grew up, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't let kids do that anymore. So,
hey, good night. Have a good rest of your vacation. Mystery in Space.
See you, Higgy.
Okay, I got
That
this.
one's actually incomplete. I got Post-it notes on some of them saying they're incomplete or damaged.
What you see?
Avengers number 65. That's a good one.
Oh, I like that cover.
Yeah.
That's the swordsman.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
I think Hercules is the one he's fighting.
Here, I'm going to show you this one I got here, the Dinosaurs Attack. It's called Dinosaurs Attack. Eclipse Comics. I've never heard of it, but maybe, Aaron, do you know anything about this? Look at that. It's a big giant snake attacking the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. I haven't seen that before.
I've never heard this one either, but I think they ripped off 2 movies here: Combat Kelly and The Deadly Dozen. Isn't that Kelly's Heroes? It remind you of The Dirty Dozen a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And then Lobo's Back, #1, and it says on the back of his jacket, it says, "Bite me, fanboy." And then
Yeah, Marvel had 3 of those groups, right? They had Sergeant Fury and the Holland Commandos.
Yeah,
That one, and then there was another one. What was it? Something, and there's Leatherneck Raiders, but I don't remember what the main title was at the moment.
Toxic Avenger. And then we got Marvel What If #9. What if the Avengers had fought evil during the 1950s? I've never seen that one before today. And then we got.
Well, it's funny because they actually, I mean, when they did Agents of Atlas years later, they kind of
did the same thing.
Did that, and it actually shows like Venus and stuff on that cover. That was part of that group. So,
cool. And I got a Brave and the Bold with the Riddler.
I was looking at that one because I hadn't seen that one before when you were showing it on your show today.
I'll put it up for you if you.
It looks cool.
I got a Marvel Team Up #31, Iron Fist and Spider-Man.
Yeah. And Easy's jumping in saying it was Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders. Thank you, Easy.
Captain Savage.
That's what I couldn't think of. So,
I
mean, they were both basically just copying the Sergeant Fury, what they were doing with Sergeant Fury, but in a different branch of the service.
Dinosaurs Attack. Yeah, there were some trading card cutouts on it. I think that glows in the dark, but I'm not sure. I'm going to test it out tonight.
Did you figure out if that was Nightcrawler or not?
No, but I'm going to read this one tonight, maybe. That's interesting. It's called The Road to Vengeance, The Missing Link. Maybe it's like an amalgamation of him and something else, but it looks just like the Night Rider, Nightcrawlers.
Yeah, it looks a lot like his costume. It's not quite the same, but.
And I don't know if anybody likes this, but it's a Frank Robbins. I don't know him that well, but the Shadow. There's a mummy kidnapping the damsel in distress.
Yeah, that's
cool. How they always have to have the damsel in distress's dress is always torn and ripped. How convenient. All right. And then I got this one I've never heard of. I'll quit showing for a minute. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men. And Wolverine's like, your mother's been avenged, okay, kid? Look, he's ripped Reed Richards to shreds. Yeah, I've never seen that one before, Easy. But that one of the Shadow, but the Fabio Crawler is what you call him. Hey, we got more people than I thought, but I didn't think we were going to have 100 people on the stream. I'm not Mr.
No, I mean, we don't even get that on the other shows. It's just
yeah.
But sometimes it's just sometimes a lot of people watch afterwards too. But that's the thing is when they put the restrictions on there, they can't. So,
hey, Cliff, how you doing? Even eyeballing mines.
Yeah,
well, I'm glad
I've tried being on Whatnot before when I'm on a stream, and I just can't do it. I can't split my attention like that.
I tried to do it the other night. I couldn't do it. I was with some other guys, and I think it was what's his name, Mad Spidey, and he's an Australian guy. He's pretty cool, and I think I hope I didn't screw his username up. Anyway. Yeah, I was looking down at the phone. I said, I can't do this because I'm not even paying attention to what they're saying. That's rude of me. So, I don't know. But, that's the way it goes. You can't, I always try to think I can do too much at the same time.
Right.
And, or I'll be trying to read a comic book while I'm watching TV. And then I don't remember anything I just read. Uh-oh. I'm out of coffee.
Uh-oh.
We're
That's
gonna have
not good.
problems now. Uh-oh. I'm gonna arrest myself.
That's only good if you got Irish coffee.
Well, I don't know if YouTube's gonna get me in trouble, but I could do that. All right. That's for when it gets when you do one before you go to sleep. I don't drink a lot though, but I notice one thing: the older you get, you can't drink like that anymore. Like when you were 20, for sure. I'm just like I might take one drink and then I don't like the feeling of like I remember what it feels like to wake up and feel like you're about to die from a hangover. So yeah, I don't do that no more.
Right.
And there's no point in doing that anyway. I don't like anybody. I don't like being around people that are sloppy drunks. All right. I hope I didn't insult anybody, but sorry guys. But I tell you the other, we were in your whatnot. I was in your claim cell the other day. Your whatnot cell, your YouTube claim cell. I mean, and I got whatnot on the brain today. I think I'm about to quit it. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to. I shouldn't say that, but anyway, somebody was like hero in red tights. And
Yeah,
the name is all together. But when I looked at it, I said, why would you name yourself Heroin Red Tights?
Heroin red tights. Yeah. That's that's how Dr. Silver Age was pronouncing it too on Comic Book Memories the other morning. But then he caught himself and realized what he was doing.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, what? I said, that can't be right. Nobody would, unless they were completely insane. So they had an update on the sheriff shooting one of our judges in the county over. So apparently he was being investigated. So we got all kinds of crazy stuff going on in Kentucky. So
who was being investigated? The sheriff or the judge?
Yeah, the sheriff, like one of his deputies, like he let him do something, like was extorting some young lady who was in drug court or whatever they call it. And we'll give you less time, if you well, I'm not going to get into it, but you get the idea.
Right, yeah. Crazy.
We got a lot of perverts out there, how it is. Well, okay, I'm just joking before you freak out and everybody leaves. I thought we'd do a little Bible study, and I'm just kidding. All right. That's how you clear some people out and be like, oh, I went to church. I don't need to go today. But anyway, that was a bad joke. I'll give you that. But anyway, so anyway.
There goes Aaron.
See you, Aaron.
Bye, Aaron.
You need a CBM. What's he mean? I don't know what he means. He says, I need a song for CBM. Any suggestions? Like, does it have to be
comic book memories? Every morning he writes them like a song and changes it a little bit to a comic book type thing.
Let me think. How about that song about I can't remember the name of it all of a sudden. Grand Funk Railroad, American Band. Change it around. Or I can't remember their name all of a sudden. The Doobie Brothers, that song, Without Love, Where Would You Be? Blank, blank. I ain't going to sing it because I'll get in trouble probably. I don't want to get sued by Michael McDonald or whoever. Get copyright struck by, I think Michael McDonald was in that group. Okay, anyway. Anybody, let's name 5 of your favorite non-comic book movies from the 70s.
From the 70s?
Yeah. Long Train Running is what this guy said. Here, we'll put that up there. Yeah, that's right. That song's good, though. It's underrated. I mean, I don't know. They had it good in the 70s and 80s, I think, with music. And, for the most part, the 90s, too. But, like, some of this new music, I can't really get into it. Doobie Brothers. Yep. I'll give you one guess of how they got their name. No, what was I going to say? Oh, I was just thinking about this the other day because everybody's asking me their favorite 70s movies. And I always say, like, Taxi Driver, Star Wars, Superman, Jaws, I guess, and Chinatown. If I was going to go with the 80s, the 80s are harder for me because I remember more movies. Like, I guess they're probably kind of movies that nobody would really think were like blockbusters, but like Escape from New York. And there's going to be a theme here because most of them are John Carpenter movies. The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Empire Strikes Back, and I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I'll say Raging Bull just because it got under the wire in 1980. I like Robert De Niro. I don't know. Well, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Forget Raging Bull. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say that was in the 80s, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you a good documentary. Look here, Easy said, they do be brothers. Yes, they do. I always kind of considered the Doobie Brothers kind of a funk band, the way they sounded. I guess they kind of were influenced by that. But no, there's a documentary. It's a documentary series on Disney Plus, and it's called Industrial Light and Magic. It's about Industrial Light and Magic, the effects company that made all the Star Wars effects.
Yeah, it's George Lucas. Yeah, it was basically George Lucas Special Effects Department. But
it's they basically invented it for Star Wars because they didn't. And like when you see how they made that stuff, it was so tedious. Like they use that slow-mo cameras, and then they get these miniatures and they move them like an inch at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they had that scene in the first Star Wars where the Imperial Star Destroyer runs over top of the Rebel ship. It comes across the top of the screen, and they had to put them so close together they almost rub together when they move by it. And but like they do that, and they do those matte paintings, and they would make it look. I would say arguably better than some of the CGI stuff I see in the background.
Yeah, I mean, they've always used matte paintings. That's in movies. That's been around for a long time, But
well, I know that. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it all depends on the who's doing the painting, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's realistic or not, because sometimes you can tell, and other times it's just like you really can't tell that's just a painting. So,
you know what I was watching this morning? One of them old Harryhausen movies, the Sinbad.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it doesn't stand up to CGI, but those movies still hold up, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I'm
surprised nobody's rebooted that and done modern Sinbad movies.
They've homaged a lot. Like, the one, I can't remember if it's Hercules or one of the movies, and he has all those skeletons come to life with swords, and they're like fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all stop motion. But like if you watch Army of Darkness, when they're having that scene against the Deadites at the end of it with all the dead soldiers, the dead knights on their horses, it looks he ripped that right from a Harryhausen film. You could tell. But that's one of my favorite movies too, Army of Darkness, just because Bruce Campbell's character he's never the heroic guy. He's kind of a coward.
Right, yeah. Bruce Campbell's a hoot to watch in anything he's been in.
Did you see that one he did where he was Elvis in a retirement home? He faked his death. It's called Bubba Hotep. Check it out. And then
I remember seeing commercials for that, but I never saw the movie.
And there's a crazy one I saw of Rutger Hauer about, I think it was last year. It's called A Hobo with a Shotgun. And then they had another one where it was like Sam Elliott, and he's like the man who killed Bigfoot or something. And like they send this Sam Elliott. It's like real cheesy. It's like one of those old Grindhouse movies. And they send him to go kill Bigfoot because he was some secret agent. But it's like the worst plot ever. But it was meant to be like that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, some movies are made to be
like that. Machete movie. They did that with Danny Trejo. I thought that was a dumb movie too, though. That was a really stupid movie. But sometimes stupid movies are fun. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember. Do you remember the movie Mac and Me from the 80s? Look it up on Bad Movies.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever saw it. I remember seeing stuff about it and people talking about it and stuff.
There's a clip that, like, with Paul Rudd.
I didn't get to see many movies when I was growing up.
Oh, okay.
So. We lived out in the country and never went to town or anything hardly at
okay.
all. So
Kind of too far to drive.
yeah,
Where did you grow up at? I feel like I'm
uh,
interviewing you now.
Wisconsin.
Okay. I think I've heard you say that. Yeah, I'm Kentucky. Been here my whole life, except, well, I did live in Georgia one time, but
My mom's calling me to put her to bed, so I
all
gotta
right,
go. It's been a pleasure to be on your
all right,
first live stream. I will see you later.
okay. Thank you. I'll probably won't be on much longer anyway. Thanks,
Have a
Robert.
good night. Bye, guys.
Well, if anybody else wants to come on, let me know. We don't have a. Give me a topic to discuss, and I'll discuss anything. Or give me a word, any word, and I'll say it in a funny way for $1. We got here. I'll show some old comic books that I have for sale. Since I'm the only one on here, I wish somebody would jump on with me, really, but you don't have to. This one glows in the dark. I think I've showed these before, but I'm just going to show them to share. We'll find something crazy that I haven't shown on here before. All right, here we'll play this game. What do you think was the reason why you can't sell this one for $20 on Whatnot? I'm going to show you what I put on Whatnot. The second appearance of Blade, Tomb of Dracula, number 12. In mid-grade, it's worth about $30, $25. I tried to sell it for $20. Nobody wanted to buy it. I'm telling you, these kids today, they don't know anything. They got all these variants, and I mean, I like the variants and everything, but it's nothing better than Bronze Age, Silver Age, Copper Age comic books, in my opinion. So we find something else to do. We'll do one right here. We'll show the real reason Batman goes around beating people up at night. He's an alcoholic. We'll drink some beer. We'll drink some liquor. Just throw some glitter. Woo! I'm Batman. All right. Don't drink this, by the way. It's nice. Somebody gave me this as a joke. It's pickle liquor. All right. It's terrible. Terrible. And we put Batman back up. He's got to watch over my shoulder. He protects me at night. So put that. And I'll show you a rock I painted about 5 years ago, Creek Rock. I painted it and put a little colorful firefly on it. So that's my rock. It's a special rock to me. It's my precious. Okay. I'm like a variants. I'm going to put this one on the chat. Variants are like Michael McDonald, unnecessary. You know what? It's kind of hard to disagree with that, to be honest with you. Can't believe it. Remember that one? Okay. All right. Oh, thanks, Easy. Yeah, it's kind of neat. I got Aaron a birthday present, but I haven't shipped it out yet, but I already got it packaged, so I can't show you that. And if anybody talks to Swag, tell him to send me his address because I have an Archie comic I'm going to send him. And let's see if we can find something cool. I'm just going to pull out a random comic book and we'll talk about it or something, right? See if we can find anything. We'll play a game here. What movie poster is this comic book an homage to? Whoever guesses it, I might send it to them. Anyone? I'll give you a hint. The horror. The horror. Okay, I'll give you another hint. Yep, there you go, Easy. I'll send it to you. Just send me your address. I'm just having fun tonight, you know. I got one that looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. And I'm going to show you something funny since I just want to be funny. I don't know if anybody's heard of Bon Bodie. This is from Rip Off Press. It's called Cheech Wizard. I don't know if I can show this on the screen, but here goes nothing. Oh boy. I ought to have my head examined sometimes, you know. But if anybody feels like coming on, I'll be on for about 15 more minutes, I guess. I'm just testing out, you know, the whole streaming thing. I wasn't trying to like rip anybody else's show off and like just show comic covers all night, but indubitably, it comes down to that most of the time. You just start showing comic books. I can't help it. It's like a slight brag, I guess. I'm not trying to brag, but you know, I'm not good at bragging anyway. But I got a bunch of these comic books, and then I got all stuff I can't even sell. I couldn't sell like a lot of stuff this week for some reason, but then I did sell some stuff. Thought I heard a ghost or something. I think the house is haunted, y'all. Something's going on over here. Should I investigate the strange noise? I'll be right back. No, I better not do that. Probably Michael Myers waiting to ambush you or something. I'll get out I'll have to defend myself with my little pen knife. I don't think that'll do much good against Michael Myers, though. It'd be like throwing a spit wad at a Sherman tank, something like that. Okay. Well, I'm dying here, people. I don't know what to say, but we got a bunch of Web of Spider-Man I'm going to sell on Whatnot this week for $2 a comic, and then I'll show a couple more, and then I'll shut up and probably just quit because I don't think nobody's feeling like coming on. So we'll just I scored a bunch of Fantastic Four today. I better not show this stuff because then I won't have nothing to show Thursday, right? Okay, I'll still show it anyway and bore you guys to death. But before I go, I'll tell a joke. Don't worry, it's not a dirty joke. You don't have to take the kids out of the room. I probably told this joke before, but here it goes. It's a bad dad joke. But so this guy was driving down this old country road and he saw this chicken and he was going about 30 miles an hour, but the chicken was keeping pace with him, right? So he speeds up. He says, "I'm gonna see if I can look. I'm gonna see how fast I can go," and he still keep up with me. So he goes to 40 miles an hour. Chicken's still running right beside him. So he gets to 50 miles an hour, still running right next to him. It's not slowing down at all. Still neck and neck with him. He gets up to 60, that thing still is keeping up with him. As he sees the chicken, turns off of this country road, and he goes, "Well, I'm going to follow this chicken and see what kind of chicken this is, right?" So he pulls in, and then he notices there's a bunch of these chickens. They all have 3 legs, and they're all running around real fast. And he sees the farmer out there, and he goes, "How did you get these 3-legged chickens?" He goes, "Well, I did a lot of chicken breeding, and we figured out a way to make 3-legged chickens through genetic manipulation. And we thought it would be a good way. We could make a lot of money selling them to Colonel Sanders." He goes, "Well, why didn't you? You could make $1 billion with this. Why didn't you sell it to him?" "Well, you can't. The little bastards are so fast, you can't catch them." Okay, I know it wasn't that good, but it was still funny. Oh, well, and then and I'll tell you another one. I've already told this one. Easy liked it. What's up, Comic Cap? How you doing, bud? Thanks for stopping by. I'm just like telling stupid jokes. I got another one. I probably told this one too, but I'll tell it. We got the Tonto and the Lone Ranger. They're surrounded by the entire Sioux Nation. And the Lone Ranger turns and looks at Tonto. Says, "Well, old friend, it looks like we're at the end." Tonto looked back at him and said, "Who said anything about we, white man?" All right. I got another Lone Ranger joke, but it's not meant for prime time. It's not meant for. I'll probably get in trouble, so I better not tell that one. It's a dirty joke. So, all right, let's show some more comic books. I'm proud of. Show you something I'm proud of getting today. If I can find it. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of Conan the Barbarian. I will show these. You remember the old Conan the Barbarian movie? He says, Conan, what is best in life? To destroy your enemies, have them driven before you, and hear the crying and lamentation of the women. We got some Conan the Barbarian, not to be confused with Conan the O'Brien. These are all in like mint condition. I'm going to have these on Whatnot, so I thought I'd show them now. We got 125. Does that skull have a cape on? Conan! 136. They're all in good shape, too. They're in Mylar bags. Whoever owned these before really took care of them. There isn't a tick on any of them. Here's 139. I don't know if any of them are key issues, but they're pretty cool. It doesn't matter. Conan the Barbarian is great. You got a Conan the Barbarian 140. 141. Found a whole run of them today, actually. So I had to get them all. We got another Damsel in Distress. I'm telling you, Conan the Barbarian was a Mac Daddy. I'm telling you. He's always rescuing these cute-looking women. All right, 148. As I'm saying, there you go. There's another one. Here's another hot-looking lady on the cover. 149. I guess I shouldn't say hot, but is that not politically correct? I guess they're going to cancel me for that, probably. It's all right. They can cancel me. I don't think many people know me. Conan the Barbarian, 153. He's riding a big mosquito. And then I got 160. Yeah, I got all these today. I was just like, and you can tell these people, whoever had these, really took care of them. I don't even know if they've been read, to be honest with you. Well, one of them might have a couple of dents in it. The biggest collection of Conan. Heck yeah. I love Conan the Barbarian. Ever since I was a kid and I watched that first movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I was just like, okay, this is it. And we got the late, great James Earl Jones is the bad guy in it. And I can't remember her name, but the lady, the blonde-headed lady, I think I hit puberty early watching her in that movie. Anyway, okay, I don't know if I just said that, but, whatever. I'm sure it'll be all right. There's just, two people in here, so. I'm not doing too good at this, I don't think, but I don't know. For my first stream, I guess it's not too bad. Check out this Rogue one I got. Rogue is my boo. All right. That's the last one I'll show. And then we'll, yeah, I had a big collection of those. I had about 50 copies of the Savage Sword, and I sold them for a pretty hefty sum. They were some early ones. The same I did with some Vampirella that my uncle, I kind of just inherited all this stuff. And that's how I got back into comics. My uncle Ray Barnes, he passed away, and then he didn't really have nobody to wheel the stuff to, and I got all of it. Well, me and my stepdad did. And that's how I got back in. I sold some of it and got some stuff I wanted. And so, and his legacy lives on. Robert's got some of the books. Some of you guys probably got some from Robert that he got from me. There, a lot of those old Spirit and Xenozoic Tales and Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre, stuff like that. Oh, Bronze Age comics, horror comics for his. He got them for me, and then I sold. They went to good people though. So and I kind of distributed his comics out into the community again, and other people can enjoy them. So a little part of them can live on, I guess, right? I didn't mean to get all sappy, but that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And I better plug my laptop in. It's getting ready to go out, looks like. I'm not going to be on much longer anyway. I was just testing it out, Yeah, but that's Savage Sword of Conan. They brought it back, I think, but see if I can get this plugged in. So I guess we both had uncles that had Savage Sword of Conan. Think about it. I can't believe I got these foily ones today. I love that stuff. I'm a sucker for a good gimmick cover. I'll get kind of tired anyway, guys. I think I might wrap it up. There's only 3 of us in here anyway, and I hope to see you guys for the Thursday show. As always, this has been a test of the Heroes for Hire Comic Club broadcasting system. This has only been a test, but if this had been an actual emergency, please contact me or your local LCS at any time. That's all right, Easy. You could, I'll do another one. We'll do a comic book. I want to do like a comic book movie discussion, like panel type thing, And so hopefully I can do that soon. I'm trying to work out like how to figure this stuff out with StreamYard and all that junk. Oh, it's okay, Boggs. I'm getting ready to. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. I just wanted to test it out anyway. It's not going to record this or anything because I don't have 100 subscribers yet. But I was getting the itch to do this, and I said, you know what? Let's just do it and see what happens. But I was trying to think of anything else to say before I go. Oh, everybody join my comic book group on Facebook. It's called Heroes for Hire Comic Club, just like this channel. And y'all already follow me on Instagram, so that don't matter. And then I'm on Whatnot. It goes to Tom Joe 76. I don't know if anybody jumps on Whatnot. Yeah, I'm only 10 away. I can't wait. It's not going to be long. What else am I going to say? I was going to say something else. I want to thank everybody for welcoming me into this YouTube comic book community. I've really felt really welcomed, and I don't get out much where I'm disabled, and here I am getting all sappy again. You think I've been drinking or something? I love you guys, but no crap. I just you'd be surprised when your disability. My disability got worse the older I got, and you'd be surprised how many people fall to the wayside. They just don't come around no more. Especially everybody has lives; they get married and move away or have kids, but you guys have been like real cool to me. It's like giving me an outlet where I can talk to people, even if I can't get out much. So it's like a big deal for me to have to get out. I have to plan the whole thing out, But that's just the way it goes. It is what it is. I didn't say that for anybody to feel sorry for me, because I don't need to be pitied. But I do love you guys, and appreciate y'all coming on for the test. We got 4 people here now. People jumping in and out, and yeah, I just hopefully we get to 100, 200, and 300, and then to infinity and beyond. Y'all get weirded out by like how the camera's reversed, and you're like, I'm pointing this way, but I'm really pointing that way. Did I just write a haiku? I don't know. Anybody want to talk about something? Put it in the chat. Ask me anything, unless it's political. Then we're not going to talk about it. And we're not going to talk about P. Diddy. Nope. But anything else. Or religion. We don't talk about religion in here. So, anybody reading anything good or looking forward to any new comics or trying to get anything? Hey, well, you didn't miss nothing. I'm just messing around, testing out the live stream capabilities, Crazy Hungarian. I'm just sitting here, and if anybody wants to come on here, I will come on a minute. I will stay on a minute. I mean, I can't figure out like how to do the picture-in-picture right up here. Still, I think you have to pay to do it or something. So I'm too cheap to do that. I don't need it that bad. So, but you see, I put on my good formal hat for this stream. See? The Secret Society of Supervillains. That seems pretty cool. Here, I'll show you what I'm reading right now. So, Department of Truth, Void Rivals, and Grommets. Also, if anybody out here, I don't know if anybody likes slabs, but I'm going to be selling or trading this one. If anybody's got any Uncanny X-Men, hit me up. Vigilante #1. I want Uncanny X-Men raw. I don't really collect slabs that much. I just won that one, and I'm trying to parlay it for something I want. And I showed all the Conan. We're going to do a one where we one of these days where we're going to act out a comic book. We're going to find an issue everybody has, and one of them's going to put it overhead, and we'll all read a different character or something. We'll figure it out. We'll have to orchestrate. That one might be kind of complicated. We'll have to orchestrate that one somehow. And I don't know. I will play some music, but then we'll get copyright struck. So we could be like, here, I'll do an example. Let's find an old one because I like the older ones because they have let's face it, y'all, some of the dialogue's kind of outdated and funny. Yes, yeah, go ahead and do that, bro. Just send it to my Instagram and everything, and we'll work it out. I got that. Yeah, I got that one for you. I found it. It just happened to be there. I was like, hey, there's Super Pro #1. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me show you. What am I going to show you? Okay, I'm going to get like an old comic book out. All right, let me find something. All right, we'll do this one here, The Shadow. I want to see what this one looks like anyway. All-Star Superman is really good. I read the trade paperback. I want to say one thing, though. Y'all, please don't use Scotch tape, okay? Use this for the back of it. It works better. And then it doesn't stick as much to the... I hate when they stick to the old comic books. They take the paint right off. Hey, this was actually in pretty good shape once you get out of the bag. Frank Robbins. So let's take a look here. I'll just grab a random page here and see what. Okay. So you got this girl. She's like, the professor's fled, poor scared old duck. But with you on the scene, we don't need anyone else. Speaking of which, how did you survive that thrown spear? The temple honeycombed with secret passages, Margot. Meryl used them. Next on the program, we check out the mummy, right? Anyway, or something like that. Uh-oh. I've lost the scroll. There we go. Don't worry, Margot. I'm coming to save you. All right. Now I'll show you what you do is you take the painter's tape. Take off a little bit. I put a little less than I should have, but it still works. That's the worst tape rip I've ever done in my life. I like the resealable bags are a godsend in my opinion. I feel they are. You go no tape folder in the flap. I had these old ones I sold at Robert that had a cheap comic collector that were they had like the flap was like this long, and I kind of like that because you could tuck it into it, Oh, I found one of my old stuff from when I was a kid. Check this out. I bought this when he died. You know, when they killed him off. It's like I guess it's like a trade. So I guess it's the first trade paperback I ever bought. The Death of Superman, and it came with a facsimile of Action Comics #1. Yes, they are, Crazy Hungarian. They are the best. It's just so much more convenient. I don't know why they're not all like that. I guess some people don't like them. I don't know. That would be a good one. I bet everybody's got this one. We could do that one. Or you could get a digital one of it too. I don't really. Does anybody read the digital comics? I really don't. I like to hold it in my hand and smell the old paper. My precious. Yeah. Totally. And we do. I wish I could play music. That would be fun. I'd do a little dance lip sync or something for you. I don't know. But I need some more. I need to get some old Star Trek comics, man. I saw some Star Trek. They teamed up with somebody in DC or something. I can't remember. My mind's gone. The strip's hard to shake off. I've never had that problem personally, but I mean, I guess I don't know. One thing I don't like about them is you can get dirt or something in them real easy. And they get all dirty. Okay, let's let Robert back on. We're just talking about resealable comic bags.
I hate them. I'd like them at first, but I've had them come apart on me where the glue strip comes off and it gets stuck on a book, and I don't. I'm strictly no tape now. I don't want any tape anywhere near them.
I was telling about those big bags I had. I don't know where they came from that you were talking, because you had them on when you show those.
Oh yeah, those flaps are. I mean, it surprised the heck out of me when I saw how long they were, because they're like half the length of the bag.
I know you can tuck them in easy though.
But they work really cool for tucking them in. Yeah.
Does anybody want to see one of the most absurd comic book covers in the history of comic book covers? All right, I can find it. I can't find it now. You know what it is? It's like you always say, "Hey, I'm going to show you this one," and you look and you're like, "Well, where's it at?" No, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. No, that ain't it. Crap. I got a bunch of War Machine. I got like 5 copies of the same War Machine comic. It's getting kind of ridiculous. All right. Well, I can't find it now. Well, I'll keep on looking for a minute, and then it's bound to be here somewhere. We got 3 people here. We had like 6 people show up in a minute, and I probably bored them to death telling stupid dad jokes. So, but that's the way it goes. I guess they weren't a fan of the. Huh?
I just saying hi to Joe. He was saying hi to me.
Oh, okay. Hey, Joe. I can't find it, but it's got a fake bullet hole in it. I think you've seen it before, but it's just ludicrous.
Oh yeah, I have that one. Not sure where it is at the moment. I just saw
I
it
can't find it. I must have threw it away or something.
Yeah, it's got that hole that goes all the way through it. It's crazy.
The Texas Chainsaw Samurai? I don't know. Oh yeah, he's got a cool background. We're all just playing around now. I'm gonna do a background next time. I'll have like Mount Everest behind me or something.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were aware that you could do green screen stuff on here. That's kind of why I came back on to show you.
That's cool. I guess
and you don't need a green screen to do it either. I don't have one. This is just the background I put on there. So it kind of, it doesn't work exactly well. And you can't, if you have it on, you can't show comics, right? Because this is what happens. But if you're just talking,
cool.
It works pretty cool. And it is kind of a cool way to show off like a comic cover or something if you have some artwork or something you want to show off, because you can just step out of the picture and then it's fine. But
If
Yeah,
you
it
move
definitely
around too
has
much,
definitely has its limitations on here.
you can move around too much too. It'll like jump in and out. And
Yeah, yeah.
because I was testing
Right.
the other day, I was waving like that. My Captain America shield would come up in the background.
Yeah, it just it's kind of weird. I tried using my overhead camera with one once and put down a green cardboard, and it looked like it was going to work really cool. But then if you lay down a comic that has any green, blue, or yellow on the cover, it does weird things because you can see like the background, whatever background you put in there, you can see on the comic. So it just looks funky. But
Yeah.
I actually I have a green screen coming tomorrow that I ordered today because I
Oh,
want to play
cool.
around with it. I want to try and do some cool stuff for Halloween. I want to see what I can make it do. So
I got a crazy topic we could talk about, or I'll just talk about it.
okay.
I know. I guess I'm not the only one that goes down the YouTube rabbit hole from time to time. And I ran across this video. It was talking about like Mount Everest and like all the like if somebody dies on Everest, they don't recover the body because it's too dangerous for somebody to try to bring them down. And all these bodies are just up there frozen.
Okay.
And like this one woman was that she's been there since like 1989, and like her eyes were they said her eyes are still open, and they use it as a landmark, and her like hair still blows in the wind because they're mummified. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies. You know.
Okay. Sounds like
It's
a
like,
good basis for some kind of a story.
oh yeah, they could be like the Walking Dead type, like or like was it Game of Thrones had the monsters that were in the ice or whatever? I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
White Walkers, that's what they were. White Walkers. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, that would be a bad way to go because yeah, they say hypothermia is a bad way to go. But I was watching a thing about that Ocean Gate. I fell down a rabbit hole about that Ocean Gate submersible, and they're like they didn't even feel nothing though. It was like a millisecond, and the hole just goes in like that. They imploded. It's wild. But I watched a lot of that stuff, like the William Shatner show. He's got like a show where he does like they talk about aliens and stuff. You know, I can't remember what it's
Mhm.
called now, but like
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I can't remember what it's called either.
yeah, it's creepy. Crazy Hungarian. It's like, and they like have nicknames. Like this one guy, they don't know who he is, but you see his green boots, and they call him Green Boots. They finally removed some of these bodies, though. That you know, and they found like the guy Hillary guy from 1926. They found him in 1999. And
So are they? I mean, because they've been frozen, are they like preserved?
yeah, they're mummified.
Huh.
It's crazy, and it's like I couldn't watch it though. Like I don't know, I get sensitive to stuff like that, even though I watch scary movies. But like when it's real like that, and I kind of hate it. Like I fall down a rabbit hole where I watch like videos of nuclear testing, and just to watch but it's like the mushroom clouds are wild. It's like something out of a Arthur C. Clarke sci-fi movie or something or a book.
Right. Yeah.
It's just crazy that they did stuff like that. But I got somebody sending me a message here. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, Mike, it doesn't really work any better with a green screen, but there's certain effects that I need a green background with because I tried a couple things yesterday with a green shirt on, so the background I was projecting was on the green shirt, but then you could still see everything behind me. And so yeah, I want it to look like it's just my head. You can see, like, if I hold up this green cardboard, you can see what happens. It's just
Yeah, they did that.
Oh, I don't have it set for green screen. I just have the thing on there.
Okay.
If I set it to green screen, it works a little bit different.
Crazy Hungary just told me the name of the show. It's Unexplained with William Shatner.
Okay.
It's a good show though. It's you'll fall down a rabbit hole on that. I used to do that with I started watching that Skinwalker Ranch show, but it's just so ridiculous. Like what it is a bunch of grown men playing with a bunch of toys, playing make believe. Oh, do you hear that? What's that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like the the Bigfoot shows where they're in the woods and they're like, "Did you hear
Yeah.
that?"
It's probably a raccoon or something, you idiot.
Right. So you can see how it's all like I'm all sparkly. That's because I've got the green screen turned on, and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing that. It started doing that yesterday. It didn't used to do that.
I want to make us all floating heads. That would be kind of cool. Like,
But yeah, well, last Halloween I did one where I just had it really dark in here, and I wore black, and so it looked like it was just my head. And I tried doing a show like that, but you couldn't really see the comics because I had it so dark. So I don't know. I just wanted to play with one. It's like because this is just a green piece of cardboard, right? But it's
Yeah.
like I can, it's like you can move the picture and float it around, and it's like it's just, it just looks weird, right? So
if I have 100 subscribers by Halloween, I'll do one and I'll wear Halloween masks for a minute.
I can, I can do that, and then just flip it up and be like, it's just weird. Seems like you could come up with some pretty decent effects. And then if I'm wearing a green shirt, whatever the background is was on the shirt. So yesterday when I was messing with it, I had a background of a graveyard. So you could see the graveyard all over my shirt, but then you could see all behind me. And so I was looking for the floating head effect where I was in a graveyard, but it wasn't. I don't have enough green screen. The cardboard is not big enough to cover everything behind me, unless I get up really close and just hold it like this. But that's just too much. So so yeah, I found a green screen for like $10 and I was like, oh, what the heck, it's $10, so we'll see what I can do with it. But I don't like this sparkly thing it's doing. I don't understand what's causing that.
I don't know either. It's like it's your aura. It's your aura.
Yeah. Well, I can work with that, if I'm doing Halloween stuff. But I just it didn't used to do that when I had it on there, so I don't know. Let me turn it on. Let me turn the green screen off, and it'll go away.
I did a fireside chat. I kind of do it. You know how I got oh, there you go. We're at light speed now. You're on the Millennium Falcon. You know how that bit I do in my videos where I'll be reading and I'll go, oh, hey, I got that from Mr. Rogers. You remember how Mr. Rogers would come in and go, oh, hi, neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd talk to address the screen. Yeah, that's how I got
change his shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a blooper video where I forget what they did. They switched his shoes out for a different size shoes so he couldn't fit on his feet.
Have you seen that? I was watching Family Guy one time, and they did like a skit about Bob Ross, and Peter's watching the old show of Bob Ross painting. He's like, "We're going to put a happy tree here, and that'll be our secret." Then he turns to the camera and goes, "And if you tell anyone, I will come to your house and cut you." I'm going to do a show one night from Whatnot or on here on the porch. I'm going to try to do that one night. And that'd be kind of fun. Unless the helicopter comes by or something, then I guess we're hit.
Yeah.
But I kind of live in a sleepy town. We have about maybe 1,500 people. I mean, the county's bigger, but the town, it's like real small. We have a big flood wall around the entire town that they can close up. And that's going to be a good place if the zombies ever do attack. We can just close the wall and we'll be protected. That's where I would stay here. It would be a good place for the shoot for The Walking Dead. But we should have told Robert Kirkman, he's from Kentucky. I should have wrote him a letter and said, you need to write. But I think they do it in Atlanta because so a lot of these shows now and movies, they film in Atlanta because it's cheaper.
Right.
Or they'll go to Canada, the British Columbia. That's where they used to shoot. Remember the show Supernatural with the two brothers?
Yeah. Seems like almost everything is shot either in Canada or Georgia.
Yeah. I'll show you one of the worst decisions ever made?
Uh-oh.
And if you stick around long enough, guys, I'll do a Ric Flair impersonation. Woo! All right. I'll watch the old wrestling like clips. I'll watch like I don't know if you remember the old Memphis wrestling with Jerry the King Lawler, and they were like showing like Andy Kaufman on there, and he would show up. He was called himself the intergender wrestling champion. He'd wrestle women, and you probably couldn't get away with that now. But he would like talk trash. He goes, "Here you go, all you dumb hillbillies here in Memphis, Tennessee. This is a bar of soap. You wash under your arms with it. Here you go. This is mouthwash. Use it." And just like playing the classic, wrestling heel bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And but like he did, there's a funny story I'll tell about that. Jerry the King Lawler, he was in a feud with him in Memphis, and he finally got him in the ring. He's like, "You're going to get in the ring with me, and I'm gonna shut you up, Andy Kaufman. You're going to go back to Hollywood, So they were using the whole "he's a big city slicker" angle, Hollywood star. And so Jerry the King Lawler's signature move was the pile driver. So he gave him a pile driver, and he said the match is over, and Andy Kaufman's laid out on the mat like this, and won't get up. The match it's been like 5 minutes, and he goes and tells the referee, Lawler's like, "Tell him to get up. It's over with. We'll help him off. Just act like he's hurt." And he's like, "He's saying he wants an ambulance, Jerry." And Jerry said, "Is he hurt?" He says, "No, but he says he demands an ambulance or he won't leave." He says, "You know how much Jerry Lawler's like the one that was the promoter too and the wrestler star." He said, "You know how much it costs to call for an ambulance to come to the arena?" He said, "Tell him no." He went back over to him and talked to him, and then he's still laying down, and the referee comes back over to Lawler and says, he said he'd pay for it. He said, "Okay, we'll send the dang thing." He says they took him to the hospital in the stretcher, and he stayed in the hospital even though he wasn't hurt for 3 days, and come out and wore a neck brace for like the next month every time he was on TV. Only Andy Kaufman would do something like that. And one other story I heard, I'll tell you, that I heard, it was an old Hollywood story. I like these old, like I'll watch reruns of Johnny Carson when they have like Burt Reynolds or somebody on, and he had the oh God, I won't forget his name. The insult comic. What was his name? The legendary
Don Rickles.
Yeah, Don Rickles was on there, and he told a story about being at the Copacabana, and he played a prank on Frank Sinatra. He come in and said, "Frank, there's I'm meeting a girl tonight. It's a hot date, and I really want to impress her. So could you come over and talk about me and say how good friends we are?" He's like, Sure, Don, I'll do it." So later on that evening, the lady shows up, and they're over there having dinner at the Copacabana, and Frank comes over and puts on the charm. He's like, "Hey, what a lovely lady. You're lucky. This guy's a good guy. He'll treat you right." And he turned to Frank and said, "Frank, can't you see I'm busy? Go away for a while." I love those old stories like that. Like,
Yeah.
Hollywood's not like that anymore. You had like real movie stars like Burt Reynolds, and he was kind of like one of the last of a dying breed when he passed away. I was a big Burt Reynolds fan. But actually, I think he lived in Florida. Or he's from Florida. He played at Florida State. He was a football player. I don't know what I got a clothespin over here for. All right. What else can we show? I'll show something cool. Hold on. I don't really have anything cool to show except comic books, so nothing in arm's length. Oh, we'll see what.
I'm just wondering what else, what all we could do with a green screen. I wish it worked better on here. And I wish you could do video.
If you had like an actual green screen, I bet it would work better.
Yeah, well, we'll find out tomorrow, but I don't think it does.
I'm going to get a ring light soon. I'm going to get one of those ring light things because I'm tired of this big. I got this big hanging like chandelier like I'm fancy. I wish I had a ceiling fan, but I'm trying to get one, but I can't sell enough comics to afford anything. Here,
Right.
check this out. This is my stepdad's key to the Cincinnati Playboy Club.
Oh, cool.
I thought I'd keep it, since they don't have them
Yeah.
anymore.
Probably a collector's item. I don't know what they would go for, but
I couldn't sell it though, but
yeah.
I'm sure it's probably a good deal out there somewhere. It's probably illegal to have this badge, but he is friends
That's
with the old
possible.
police.
Yeah, I thought about that when you were showing it the other day.
It's not real, everybody. It's plastic. Wink, wink. He got it from the police chief, and if he got pulled over, he would like have it in his wallet, and they go, "Oh, it's just a warning, sir." I was like, "You're lucky you didn't get in trouble for that." But he told a funny story. My dad was like a car trader, and my stepdad, and he would like buy a car and sell it, And he went to some auction, and they where them auctions where they seize people's vehicles, like drug dealers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a Ferrari, like the one that Magnum PI drove. And he used to be kind of well off before when he had a savings and loan bank, but like when they had that savings and loan crash, it kind of fell off. He had to like sell the business. But anyway, I digress. They picked up the car in Florida, and they were driving back to Kentucky, and they were going through Atlanta. He was going 150 miles an hour. He said his brother-in-law at the time was with him, and he said, "I never saw this car. I didn't really know. That's before my mom married him." And he said, "Well, show us what it's got, John." That was his name, and he jumped down. It's a Ferrari, so it's going to go speed real fast. They got to like 140 or something, and they passed a state trooper, like flying past it. He was parked on the side of the road, and the state trooper obviously turns his lights on and comes right after him. But he said, "Well, they pulled over. He knew he was going to get pulled over. Slowed down, pulled over. He thought he was going to be in real trouble because that's like you can lose your license going that fast." And when he got to the window, the state trooper said, "Well, I'm glad you boys stopped. There's no way in hell I could have caught you." And then he just started wanting to ask about the car, and then gave him a warning. He said, "Don't do it again, or I will take your license." So I guess a car, especially back then, you're not used to seeing. Well, still nowadays, you're not used to seeing a car like that because it's like an
Right.
exotic car.
Yeah.
And but yeah, he had it was blue, and then he painted it red like the one that Tom Selleck drove. And but yeah, I thought that was a funny story because it's true. The guy probably couldn't have caught him.
Right.
We had a police chase over here last week, and it went into Tennessee. I live on the state line with Tennessee and Kentucky, and we have the Cumberland Gaps. I live near Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, in Kentucky. It's where where Daniel Boone came through.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a national park, and they put it in the early 90s. They built a tunnel all the way through the mountain because you used to have to go over top of the mountain. They chased him all the way through where I live towards the tunnel. And this tunnel's like a mile long. And they said he was going so fast, he got through that tunnel in 23 seconds. He's on a motorbike. I don't know how he didn't kill himself.
Wow.
And they set up a roadblock and caught him in Tennessee. And you know where he was from, though? He was from Florida.
Yeah, figures.
But yeah, I thought that was a wild story. I'm afraid to read this one. I don't know how y'all feel about foil comic books. Let me enlarge the screen. I think it's cool, but I'm afraid to read it without gloves on. I don't think I've ever read Batman #1, oddly enough. So I think I'm going to have to get some of those surgical gloves. I think that'd be a good idea. You could probably read it with surgical gloves. But I got a bunch of Web of Spider-Man I'm going to sell soon. And I got the first Hellcat here, and if anybody knows anything about it, they know this book is worth more than $1. And I couldn't sell it for $15. That just goes to show you that whatnot is very subjective.
Well, any of the things where we're trying to sell stuff is, I mean, it all depends on who's there, and sometimes it doesn't even depend on that. Sometimes it depends on who's there and if they got paid that week or not.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just you just don't know. All you can do is show your books
And a book is only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it.
yeah.
I don't
But
care how
I
much
mean,
it's
if
worth.
you only have like 10 or less people watching, there's a good chance that the right person's not there. So you just kind of
Easy's hanging out with us. You ought to just come on live. You're going to hang. We have 3 people here. I've never had 3 people on my stream. We'll just break another record.
There you go.
Meanwhile, I'm going to start doing that too. Like, I want to do a thing where I cut and it goes, meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, and it cuts away. Like on the Super Friends used to do that. Meanwhile,
right. Yeah.
At the Holologist, you know who did the voices, some of the voices for that show? Ted Knight.
Really?
Yeah, and remember the old 60s Aquaman show? He was the voice
I
of
saw
Aquaman.
Ted Knight. Is that who I think it is? That's the guy from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, right?
Yeah, he was in Caddyshack.
Yeah. I saw him on a Lassie episode just yesterday that my mom was watching. He was like he was playing a ventriloquist. It's like a traveling ventriloquist or something. And I didn't realize it. He was so young. I didn't realize it was him until I saw the end credits come up and saw his name. And then I realized that was him. But
Crazy Hungarian said Caddyshack. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like where he's like, this is Roddy Danger's like, oh, hey, Wayne, this country club's got restrictions, so don't tell them you're Jewish. And it's like a Japanese guy, and he's taking pictures of everything. And but I always used to quote, like when I used to play like miniature golf or something, and we'd go, he goes, I bet you're going to miss that putt. And I say, or you're going to slice? I say, this is Bushwood, sir, and I never slice. But that's one of the greatest comedies of all time. I think it is. Where he's like, was it Bill Murray's talking about the Dalai Lama, and he's like was caddying for the Dalai Lama. I thought that was only Bill Murray could come up with something as insane as that. But but Ted Knight was also the voice of Aquaman, and he did a lot of those old cartoons like that. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that. Yeah, there's a lot of actors that do cartoon work that, when they're not in a series or something.
You'd be surprised, and some of them are really great. Like Mark Hamill, he does a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, he does the Joker and all that stuff.
He was on this one show called Gravity Falls. My little nephew used to watch, and I'm kind of a kid at heart. I kind of watch like animated stuff that probably some people would laugh at. I guess like that Justice League animated series. I watch it all the time, and I was a grown person when that show came out. And I was a teenager when the Batman animated series came out, but I still watched it. I didn't tell anybody I watched it, but I still watched it. Because, when you're a teenager, you're like, comics are, I don't watch cartoons. And when you're by yourself, you'll be watching X-Men. Oh, you're trying to figure out the laptop? Okay, it's okay. I'm glad you came by, Crazy Hungarian. I'm just glad. All you guys are really cool. I just want to thank y'all again for, you really made me feel welcome on this in this community, and I appreciate it. I kind of needed some new friends, and I'm glad I made some.
Yeah, that's we are. I think we've all been in that boat. That's kind of. I mean, I was a year ago. When I first started doing this. Well, it's been a year and a while now, I guess, but Aaron and Easy both were two of the first people that reached out to me and actually made me feel welcome, and just never looked back. It's been great for me.
I just happened to show up on your stream one night with you did with Psychotronic and Aaron, and you were doing the chaotic. I said, well, let's check this out. And then I saw your name down there. I said, wait a minute. I think I've sold this guy comic books.
Yeah. It was like the day after or the day of or something. Or no, it had to be a little bit later because I had your comics to show already. So, yeah.
Well, y'all gave me the confidence to actually try it. And now I met this one guy's name's Mad Spidey. He's from Australia. So I know people from Australia now. So that's kind of weird. Well, it's kind of cool though, really.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by all of this because first of all, nobody's watches TV anymore. They're all on YouTube. Everybody's
Yeah.
watching YouTube, right? But anybody can come on here and create their own TV show. I mean, it could be a weekly series, it could be a monthly series, it could be whatever they want it to be. If they were, if they're studying acting or directing or whatever, they can actually use this as a platform and do whatever they want to do. The heck with being discovered and finding a new studio or or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like you could come on here and do whatever you want to do. You could put on plays, you could do anything.
And there's all kinds of very creative people on here. I've noticed that. Like,
yeah.
I guess what's this guy was like a kind of like a historian, but he does like comical stuff. Like he'll be like 1950s frozen man. He was an FBI agent in the 1950s. He's unfrozen in 2024, and he's still kind of sexist and a little bit racist. It doesn't understand everything. And like,
right.
He's like gets weirded out, and then he gets teed with this one girl, and she's like a millennial or something, and she's trying to educate him on how things are now. And he's just he's like, she goes, "You got to be more woke than that." And he's like, "What's that? I'm awake right now. What do you mean?" Well, Easy Comic said he watched more cartoons as an adult because they only had 3 channels growing up. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember having 3 channels growing up, and if the president was on that night, your night was ruined.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link to that Easy Comic Reader. This guy's like a historian, and he does a thing. He dresses up like a Confederate soldier, and then he'll have it like where he's like on both screens, the same person, like that little girl, Call Me Chris does, and she'll play different characters. And he does that, and he'll have one of them be dressed as Confederate, and they'll argue about the Civil War. It's kind of funny. Let's see the recent comments. I feel the same way. I only started this YouTube thing about a month ago, and the response from all you guys has been amazing. I feel very welcome here. Well, we're glad to have you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, me and you're in the same boat. I just started about a month ago too.
Yeah, you both started about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're just passing it on. Everybody has been so welcoming and everything on here. It's just been incredible. I mean, I feel like I have more friends on here than I've ever had in real life.
Me too,
honestly.
Yeah. And we're all like-minded too.
Yeah, and that's the thing
we all love comic books.
I mean, there's been a couple of people that have created some problems for us, but for the most part, it's just far and above a great community that we're.
And some of the mid-level guys are kind of like the guys that have 1,000 or 2,000 have been really cool too to me, and I'm sure they don't have to be, but like the guys that do the comics curing cancer thing, they let me come on their show on Wednesday sometimes, and I try to do what you said, just jump on as many live streams as you can and hang out. And,
yeah, if you want to grow your channel, the best way to do it that I've seen is to interact with the other channels, even if it's just hanging out and chatting and saying hello and leaving a comment or two. Because YouTube does nothing to let everybody know you're here.
You got
absolutely nothing. Yeah. I mean, you think that they're pushing your videos out to everybody, and they're not. They're not at all.
That's why you got to put hashtags and stuff in your descriptions.
Yeah. When I first started doing this, I didn't know there were channels of people showing comic books. I didn't find any. Every time I did a search for comic books on YouTube, all it showed me were like the people that were auctioning them off, that were doing auctions, like auction comics and stuff like that. But as soon as I started my channel, then I'd see a few more, and then I'd see a few more, and then I'd see a few more. I was like, oh my gosh, there's hundreds of channels out there that are doing exactly the same thing I'm doing. I thought I was going to be unique and be the only one doing it.
I tell you what, I've been surprised that there is a large contingent of Australian comic book fans on YouTube.
I've seen a few.
Yeah. And England, there's a guy named Have you ever seen the guy, Dr. Von Hoot?
Yeah.
He's a card, that guy is.
He's a hoot.
Him and Higgy need to do like a buddy cop movie together. That would be interesting. We need to get him on the show. Well, no, that'd be funny.
Yeah.
Or on my show. I'd buy anybody that. But like, I like the guys from the Comics Curing Cancers, Rob's Fat Stacks and Comic Wit, and it's a good cause. They do all the stuff. You donate stuff. I donated a comic, I think, and yeah, I did. I don't know why I said I think. And it was signed by Steve Epting, and I only got it for $5. So I figured, my stepdad died of cancer, so and they said 100% of it goes to the cancer. So, and they seem like good guys, but I don't know, but they're really nice though, and they do like here's this thing called Only Slabs stream every Saturday at 2:30, and they give away stuff, and like they'll give away like some pretty good comics too. They do like 2 giveaways, and like I won one, but let's see, all I saw was Hot Books channels. Then I saw Rob and said, "Brother, my brother." Heck yeah, yeah. Well, my first introduction to comic book YouTube was like the ones that everybody thinks about, like Comic Tom, and
the investor channels.
Yeah, I kind of watched it, but then like when I discovered you guys and these other guys, I was like, I like these guys better.
Yeah, I don't watch. That's what I was
seeing
too. I was seeing that. I was seeing the auction channels, and I was like, I'd watch them, and I actually bought a few comics on the auction channels, but I was like, it's not, and people will tell me that, oh, I like how you do your channel. Well, it's because I didn't do any of the stuff that I didn't like about all the other channels. All the other channels, I'd see how they showed books this way, and I'm like, I don't like that. That's why I got the overhead camera to show them so you can see the book a little bit better and stuff. And I just tried to do it.
I
tried to eliminate all everything that I didn't really like the way somebody else was doing. So
I like the show. I like Vanna White.
Yeah. See, if you were Vanna White, I'd like that too.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I would too. I'd like that. I don't want to be Vanna White, but I mean, I'd like to meet her. She's still pretty cute. And that was my childhood. This is one of my childhood crushes too. Her and Kathy Ireland.
Kathy Ireland was beautiful. Yeah. I don't know what she looks like now, but
she's probably still pretty. I'd say. I mean, like
probably more than likely.
Linda Carter's still beautiful, in my opinion.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, and she can still sing too.
Yeah, she was actually on some kind of like show a minute ago for fundraising or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't check it out. She wasn't on there. There's some politician. I said I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, she released some kind of song with her daughter or something on YouTube that I watched not too long ago, a few months ago. There was some new song that they did, and she sounded great. I mean, I know with electronics and stuff, you can pretty much make anybody sound great. But I know she still does concerts and stuff, so she can sing still.
I was in love with Linda Carter. Lindsay Wagner I liked her. And I can't remember the woman that played Isis. I had a crush on Isis.
I don't know her name either.
Remember that old show, Shazam?
Mm-hmm.
I liked that when I was a kid. They used to show reruns. A lot of that stuff I caught in reruns, but like...
Yeah, they were traveled the country in a Winnebago.
Yeah, that was... Like, where did you pick this kid up at, dude? I mean, are you really his uncle? I gotta know. Do we need to call like child welfare services or something? It's kind of creepy now. I don't think they could do that premise now. But like some of the shows, I mean, if you look back now, you're like, well, some of it's kind of ridiculous. But you see, like I watched the episode the other day of the $6 Million Man again, where he fights Andre the Giant as Bigfoot, and I don't know if it really holds up to the day stuff, but it's still pretty cool.
It's fun. I got to give a lot of credit to whoever made the decision to film when he's supposed to be moving at super speed, but they made the decision to film it in slow motion, or show it in slow motion instead of like speeding it up like he's the Flash or something. I mean,
They make
I
that
was
noise.
watching a few episodes of that, maybe last year, and that just struck me that how brilliant that was to do it that way. Because if you did anything else, it would just look really hokey. I mean, it kind of does anyway, but it fits the show really well. And instead of them being like super speed or something, which just looks ridiculous, yeah, exactly. And instead it's like, I was like, that's just brilliant filmmaking right there. I don't know whose decision that would be, but
Easy just brought up when Barbara Mandrell and her sisters. He said that was his first crush. I like Barbara Mandrell.
I've almost used Barbara Mandrell clips on the show a couple times, but they didn't.
He did some acting. Before.
It wasn't crazy enough for me.
Yeah, well, if it's probably something copyrighted, you might get in trouble. If you're just acting something out, I think you can do that.
Done some acting. I would like to share some of the vids, but afraid I might get a copyright strike.
Now, if it was in a movie, you might get in trouble.
I think if you just played a clip of whatever scene you're in, you could probably get away with it.
You could I've watched some of these news channels on here, these independent news channels, and you can get away with showing like a minute 20 or something. Sometimes with certain clips, I mean, like they show something from CNN or Fox News, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't want to get you in trouble. And we got Aaron Gray from Buck Rogers. He said, "Oh, Mom, I still have a crush on her." Oh, yes, Aaron Gray. You do another lady that guest starred on Buck Rogers, Marky Post from Night Court.
It was cute, yeah. I think it depends on how you use the clip. I mean, if you're presenting it like, "Hey, I'm in this scene," and you talk about it, and you just show the clip, and I think that's fine.
Should be all right.
Somebody would have to be awful lawsuit crazy to go after you for that. Otherwise,
especially if you were in.
I mean, they show all kinds of stuff, and just doing reaction videos and talk over what they're showing, so and get away with that kind of stuff because they're reviewing the show or whatever,
My cousin
I gotta
does
get rid of this green screen. You can't see my hand motions.
My cousin, she does some of that stuff like that.
You couldn't see my air quotes.
Yeah. My cousin, she does some acting, like she's not anything big, but like she's done some of those, like, those like true crime shows where they'll like show a flashback and go, and she tried to call the police, but nobody would help her, and they show like a girl on the phone, but she doesn't really say anything, or she'll be like an extra in the background, but she gets paid pretty good to do that. And but she's not like Meryl Streep or anything, but
right.
But it's just like musicians, you can have a guy that plays as good as Jimi Hendrix, but nobody's ever heard of him.
Yep.
They just didn't get the breaks that some people get.
Depends on if you get the break or not. Yeah.
There's for every like Jimi Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughan, there's probably 10 other guys that didn't make it.
Oh, at least probably more like hundreds, or thousands.
I was kind of a little bit, I kind of miscalculated that one, I guess. But I think I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna have to. I guess we're gonna end it.
We can end it.
What was his claim to fame? He said his claim to fame. I gotta see this. His claim to fame was, "I was one of the British soldiers who burnt down Mel Gibson's house in The Patriot." Dang redcoats. Yeah, 5 o'clock does get it. Come here early. Easy. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to get up at that time. I'll probably be up anyway. I can't sleep most of the time. So, but Robert, thanks for coming on with me, man. I really appreciate all you guys. And like, you like what I said? Yeah, that's a good movie though. I like The Patriot. I thought that was a great movie. I'll have to look for you now. I want to find my DVD and look for you in that scene now. My only claim to fame is this: I met Jim Barney once. Do you know who Jim Barney was? Ernest Goes to Camp.
Ernest, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he died of lung cancer, but he was my cousin Katie got married in like the 90s, and her husband, her fiance, his family was friends with him, and he came to the wedding. And somewhere I have a picture with him. He died like 2 years later of lung cancer. And I remember when he died of lung cancer, I remember something about him. He was always smoking like a freight train. So, rest in peace, Jim Barney. He thought he was pretty funny. You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah.
And I want to do one where like, I'd like to it'd be fun if we could get everybody together on like a thing and do like, I'll have a green screen and do like some Monty Python type sketch or something goofy like that. But, thanks for showing up, everybody. And I guess I'm going to end it. And I got to go see a man about a horse. So,
Bye, guys. See you later.